What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Chris Thorne Show. Let's get it. Good morning, everybody. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching my content. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chris Thorne Show. In this segment that I like to call No Bullshit News. Probably need to make a page on Facebook to say that, and hopefully nobody else took it, because I started saying what the fuck news because I found out there was another guy who does YouTube that has taken it and he getting sponsored for it. So, hey, that's what's up. More power to that, brother. But anyway, y'all, as always, I've been trying to keep tabs on this story about Guyger and Bolton John. Well, we have another update. Miss Guyger has been fired from the police force. Now, in that same token, her attorney says that whoever attorney is feels that this was unfair, it was unreasonable, and said it was too soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's when you, the audience, who's been keeping up with me and this story, comes in and give your opinion about what you're about to hear and what I'm about to read. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So you got a video right here of them speaking on it. So let me go over here and play this video. All right, let's have a listen.
The police chief has now fired neighbor, Botham Jean. 26-year-old Jean was killed inside his own apartment on September 6th. Officer Amber Guyger said she shot him after entering the apartment, thinking it was her own and that he was an intruder. She was immediately put on administrative leave and then charged with manslaughter. Today, Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall tweeted a statement saying, quote, an internal affairs investigation concluded that on September 9th, Officer Amber Guyger engaged in adverse conduct when she was arrested for manslaughter. Officer Guyger was terminated for her actions. Botham Jean's mother says she was told about the firing last night, called it a victory for justice. That family, though, is still pushing for the charge against Guyger to be upgraded to murder.
So, right. Y'all heard that. And, the mother, like I said, is trying to get it pushed to murder. Let me go ahead and read the article to you. And as always, I will post the links to everything that I read in the description box, so y'all can go take a look at it yourself to go read it. So this is what it says. And shout out to CNN. This is their content. This is not mine. Police officer charged with manslaughter in the shooting of Botham Jean inside his Dallas police chief. Guyger was fired during a hearing Monday, which was yesterday. Chief Elisha, however you say it, Renee Hall said in the statement, John's mother, Allison, learned of Guyger's termination during a Sunday evening conference call with Hall. The family attorney, S. Lee Merritt, said Monday she also offered an explanation of why it took so long, explaining that she had to consider Ms. Guyger's Fifth Amendment protections, specifically so that her termination action wouldn't compromise the criminal matter and lead to really the criminal allegations being thrown out altogether, he told CNN. The Fifth Amendment prohibits self-incrimination and double jeopardy and guaranteed due process for those. See right here, I guess this was a tweet or something where they talking about it, but again, I will post a link so y'all can look at this yourself. Guyger said she shot and killed Guyger 30 says she shot and killed John after she thought she was entering her own apartment, not realizing she was on the wrong floor of her building, police said. The shooting took place September the 6th. An internal affairs investigation concluded that Guyger had adverse conduct when she was arrested for manslaughter on September the 9th, according to a police statement. Service rules. Guyger has the right to appeal her discipline. The statement reads, in a criminal case, Dallas County District Attorney Faith Johnson has said a grand jury could charge Guyger with a stiffer crime than manslaughter. While Allison John was relieved by the news of Guyger's termination, calling it a satisfactory solution, the family was. Merritt said, the attorney is preparing a civil rights claim in John's death. He said Guyger's termination makes his case stronger because it shows the city and police department think Guyger obviously engaged in behavior that doesn't comport with a police officer, he said. Botham Jean was scheduled to be laid to rest Monday in his native St. Lucia at a September 13 ceremony in Richardson, Texas. Hundreds gathered to remember the extroverted accountant who shared his love with everyone. Guyger, who is white, was off duty when she encountered John and an unarmed black man in his apartment, police said. Still in her uniform, Guyger parked on the 4th floor of the complex and walked to what she believed was her apartment, according to an arrest warrant affidavit. The door was slightly ajar as she tried to use her key, which has an electronic chip. When she opened the door, she saw the interior was almost completely dark, according to the affidavit. She described seeing a large silhouette and believing there was an intruder in her apartment, and she drew her firearm. This right here, they was going to sign this apartment, but I'm not going to play that. Again, I will post a link and y'all can take a look at it yourself. She issued verbal commands, but John, being in his own home, did not heed him, and Guyger fired 2 shots, hitting him once in the torso, the affidavit said. Guyger, a 4-year veteran, they entered the apartment, called 911, and started administering first aid to John. She turned on the lights while on the phone with 911 and only when asked for her. At the hospital, Guyger was released from the Kaufman County Jail after posting a $300,000 bond. The shooting sparked days as police deployed pepper balls on demonstrators a week after the shooting. Protesters, angry with the lack of public information in the case, city council meeting to police oversight in general. All right. So that's what we have so far about her firing. Okay. So as of now, Guyger has been fired. Now the mother says that this is a satisfactory victory to her. Well, that's how she feel, then, that's how she feel, I don't know if I too much would say that or not. But, everybody grieves different. Everybody feels a certain way about certain aspects of how things going when you lose a loved one, so I can only imagine, how she really, really feels. I can sit up here and say how she feels. The sadness or whatnot, but the thing is, say how the lady feel, but I can say is I hate that this has happened. Hey, I hate this have to happen to anybody, because this was crazy and this was pointless, and this was a mistake. Open hole. Back up that I always been saying that. Let's go to the next article, and let me play this for y'all real quick too. So let me blow that up, and let's play this.
A funeral will be held later today for a man who was shot by a police officer inside his own apartment in Dallas. Botham Jean was killed last week by an off-duty police officer. Her name is Amber Guyger. Protesters condemned the shooting at a Dallas City Council meeting yesterday, and they are demanding justice. Together. Omar, good morning.
Good morning. John's family says they don't think Dallas police officer Amber Guyger is telling the whole story about what
we're still lost as to
Son Botham, Allison, and Bertram Jean still aren't satisfied with the details surrounding his death.
I still don't have a conclusive what happened.
Is that just keeping you up at night?
That's the pain. That's what causes the pain.
Off-duty police officer Amber Guyger is accused of killing the 26-year-old last Thursday. The family says they don't believe the officer's version of events.
One of the things I would like is for Amber to just come clean.
Guyger told investigators that she went to what she thought was her third-floor apartment. Instead, the 30-year-old went to Jean's fourth-floor apartment directly above hers. Guyger was ajar and inside noticed the apartment interior was nearly completely dark. Elisa is
door was open. He would never, and have the lights off, he would never do that. He was like me, I don't like the dark.
Believing Jean to be a burglar, Guyger says after she gave verbal commands that were ignored, she fired her handgun twice, hitting him once in the torso. It wasn't until Guyger turned on the lights and called 911 that she realized she was at the wrong apartment. The family says Jean placed a red carpet in front of his door to distinguish his apartment from others.
He made sure to let everyone know, this is mine, it's my red carpet.
Jean grew up in St. Lucia, but his brother Brant says that he was well aware of racial tensions in America.
he said to me as a black man in pocket, just so
But some
Are you worried?
That's my worry.
His attorney declined our request for comment, but ultimately it'll be up to a grand jury to decide if they'll bump those charges up to murder. There is a rumor that the Jean family wants to squash right now. They say Botham did not know and did not have a relationship with Guyger. John?
Omar, thank you, and thanks for helping quash that rumor. But people are, there's just something that doesn't add up here.
They didn't know because you think they had to have known. They had to. But to hear them say that, it's very mysterious. Open the door. She says the door was open. Neighbors say the door can't stay open because it automatically closes. That up there.
No, more to come.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. And that's one of the things that people are wanting to know. You know, because me personally, it's still just too many holes in this story, and that's the one thing that keeps wrapped around people's mind. You know, they had to be, you know, for this to even play out the way that it did. You know, but who knows? You know, they're gonna keep saying that it was nothing going on. So I don't know, people. I do not know. But anyway, so y'all see the title. It said, "Fired Dallas cops lawyer termination was unfair too soon." He said it was unfair too soon. Let me read you what it says. It says, the firing of white Dallas police officer who fatally shot her black neighbor inside his own apartment was premature and unfair. An attorney for the officer says, Robert Rogers, who represents the fired officer, Amber Guyger, said Monday night that police chief Renee Hall bowed to pressure from anti-police groups and took action before all of the facts had been gathered and due process was afford it. That's not the way our system of justice should work, Rogers said in his first statement since the shooting. He called the September the 6th shooting that left 26-year-old Botham Jean dead a tragic mistake and said words can never express our sorrow for the pain suffered by those who knew and loved John. Rogers added that Guyger is completely devastated by what happened. That John was being buried in his Caribbean homeland. All dismissed the 4-year veteran of the force during a hearing Monday, according to the police department. The now former officer is charged with manslaughter, and she was fired because of her arrest, according to the department. Court records show Guyger said she thought she had encountered a burglar inside her own home. She was arrested 3 days later and is currently out on bond. Let's see what they got to say right here.
Breaking news tonight, only here on CBS 11. The very first comment from the attorneys for former Dallas police officer Guyger, we know today, this after Botham Jean was shot and killed in his own apartment. In the statement we get tonight, Guyger's attorneys criticized Police Chief Renee Hall for bowing to pressure from anti-police groups and taking what they call action before all of the facts have been gathered and before due process has been afforded. They go on to say, quote, "This is not the way our system of justice should work."
All right. A statement from the police and internal investigation concluded that on September 9th, Guyger engaged in adverse conduct when she was arrested for manslaughter. Dallas adverse conduct is often. Mitchell said that adverse conduct. Mitchell said that adverse conduct is conduct which adversely affects the morale respect and confidence in the department or officer. One of the attorneys for John's family, Lee Murray, said John statement. The attorney said seeing through the next steps of the process of a proper murder indictment, conviction, and appropriate sentencing, they said in the statement. CBS Dallas said the statement also called the firing bittersweet for Botham's family. While nothing can bring him back, DPD's firing Guyger is the first step for Botham Jean John. The station adds that a civil rights wrongful death lawsuit is being prepared against Dallas County District Attorney Faith Johnson has said the case will be presented to a grand jury which could decide a more serious charge than manslaughter. During a conference call with John's parents and their lawyers on Sunday, Hall reported she intended to fire Guyger and explained the delay in the action according to the family's attorneys in their statement. Days before for the firing, Hall said in the statement that she had not taken action against Guyger because she did not want to interfere with the ongoing criminal investigation. There are conflicting narratives over what led up to the shooting. Guyger told the investigation she had just ended a shift when she returned in uniform to the Southside Flats apartment complex where she lived. She said when she put her key in the apartment door, which was unlocked and slightly ajar, it opened according to the affidavit. Inside, the lights was off, and she saw a large silhouette across the room. According to the officer's account. Y'all know what? Well, actually, this just getting kind of repetitive, because I read this before. Because it's saying, she did the verbal commands and it was ignored. Then she called 911, and this, then the third. So, again, I will post both links in the description box. But this right here look like it got a little bit more to it at the ending of it. But again, like I said, I will post both links in the description box so y'all can see for yourself and read for yourself, you know, what's going on at the moment. And y'all give y'all thoughts and opinion on what is going on here. And do you think that the attorney, do you think he's right in how he feels about it? Or do some of y'all say, fuck the attorney? No, I mean, she did what she did, and now she got to pay the price for it. All right? Love to hear y'all thoughts. Other than that, though, again, Amber Guyger has been fired, and the attorney said, her attorney says she feel like he or she, whoever it is, feel like that this is unfair. So what say you people? How do you feel about all this? This your man Chris Thorns. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.